everyone, today we're going to be swatching the 35S Sweet Oasis palette by Morphe brushes. This is a stunning palette. You have blues, you have pinks, you have some natural tones, so if you want to see swatches of this gorgeous palette, just keep watching. Now that you guys have seen the swatches of this palette, let's talk about it. Obviously, you get 35 eyeshadows, hence the name 35S. I like the majority of mattes versus shimmers. There are still quite a few shimmers, but I just always prefer mattes and then like a pop of shimmer, so I'm happy with the variety. I'm also happy with the variety of natural shades to colorful shades. If you're new here, your girl does not like natural eyeshadows very much. She loves bright, fun, like poppin', and natural shades usually aren't my thing, but these natural shades are kind of fun in my opinion. Like, I love how there's like a gray, this beautiful like brown that's very, very warm, and then you have like a silver, you have like a taupe. Like, I feel like the natural shades in this palette are nice, plus then you have these deeper natural shades, which I'm always down for. Then, of course, you have pink and you have blue, so you could do, like, a natural look with a pop of pink or a pop of blue, or you could do a bright look with either of those shades and do natural as well. I'm pleased to report there are not any glitters in this palette. Morphe's been doing glitters recently, and personally, I don't like pressed glitters that much. The only brand that I really like them from is Juvia's Place. Besides that, not really a big fan, so I always prefer when a palette doesn't have them because I just don't think an eyeshadow palette needs pressed glitter. When this palette first came out, I did want it, but I held myself back. I was like, you know what? I got like 10 eyeshadow palettes on their way to me. I don't need this one. And then I saw the swatches, and then I saw that it was limited edition. They always get me with limited edition, because once a palette's limited edition, I'm like, what if I regret it? And honestly, this palette wasn't too expensive. I don't remember the price off the top of my head, but it wasn't super expensive or anything. It's a Morphe palette. I personally like the Morphe formula. I know a lot of people have like very strong opinions against the Morphe formula, but for me, it's always worked. The only palette I've ever had issues was like the 35F. That palette was horrible, but besides that, every other Morphe palette I've tried has been pretty good. So I don't know. I was like, well, I like Morphe. I like this color story. Do I need more blues and pinks? No, probably not. But did I want this palette really bad? Yeah. I give myself credit. I did wait like a few weeks to pick this up, but you know, my friend Cara was like, I got the palette. And I was like, oh shiz, and then, you know, then I got it, and yeah, so now we both have the palette, but I don't know, I was just like, I don't know, I don't need it, but I got it anyways. I'm happy. It's really pretty. I think another thing I really do like about this palette is, like, especially with the natural shades, these two rows kind of have their own vibes going on, so if you go straight down, like, that could be a look, that could be a look, you know what I mean? So I did, since there are so many shades, I did swatch these in like sections, so I'm going to be going through each section. So this is like the first two rows. I'm going from like up and down, like from down to up. So this is the natural shades basically. I actually really like these for the most part. Sandbar is like this really pretty warm brown, and those are the types of browns I can F with, man. Like, I really, really like browns like that. I love that there's an inner corner highlight. Love that. The silvery shade, Panoramic Shot, that is a stunning silver. It's nice and glittery. I love that. The gray matte, very nice as well. The other shades are lackluster simply because they're not my type of shades, but they're fine formula-wise, so the first two rows are nice. The row next to those is very simplistic. It's nothing like revolutionary. They're just like natural shades with a hint of pink to them. I do like the shade Lazy Days. It's this like almost like a brown base with like this purple through it. It's really, really pretty actually, and I do like Alfresco. That is a nice, like, for me, it's a skin tone shade, so it'd be nice to, like, set my brow bone and stuff, but besides that, this rose is just kind of boring for me. Like, those shimmers are okay, but they're not, like, super metallic or anything, so I don't think I'd use them. I am kind of curious by the end of this how many shades I'll actually would use and how many I wouldn't. I'm hoping it's majority that I'd use, because so far some of these are like, eh. The next rose that we have are the two pink rose, obviously. I'm actually really, really happy with these colors. I love these, like, pink and raspberry tones. Like, I love the deeper tones. They're definitely more, like, raspberry shades. But then you have, like, a pastel pink, which will be beautiful to blend out all the other pink shades. You have kind of, like, a true pink. You have a hot pink metallic. You have a darker sort of, like, brownie, like a brownie pinky shade. You have this, like, pink toned shimmer so that you could have more variation. And then you have this another pink tone shimmer that is way more like pink, and then you have this beautiful, beautiful, it's called Champagne on Ice. It's like a champagne. It's really, really pretty. I like these two rows a lot. I think they're very, very pretty. They all swatched really well. I didn't really have any issues. Even the pastel shade, I had to build it up a little bit, but nothing horrible for pastels, so I'm down for that. These shades are just so, so pretty. Finally, we have the two blue rose, which obviously they're fun, they're vibrant. I love that you have a gradient, so I basically swatched them like from lightest to darkest since I thought that made the most sense. I really like how much of a gradient there are. You have pastel shades, then you have a little bit darker until you get into the very deep dark shades. You have this shimmery, like, black base blue shade. It's like a blue brown, but with way more bluey green to it. It's interesting for sure. This is what the rest of them look like. I personally love these purple shades. All the purple shimmers are really, really nice. This other blue is my favorite. It's a bit more chunky, so I feel like it would be best with, like, a glitter glue and, like, really, like, rubbed into the eyelid, but besides that, I think it's the absolutely most stunning shade ever. And then you have this, like, typical, like, type of blue that I like. It's like a blue base with, like, a yellowy gold blue shift. I really like it. And then for the inner corner or brow bone or whatever you want, you have this light blue minty white sort of shade. I like it. I really like these shades. I think they all would work so well together. Of course, as I always have to mention, swatches don't dictate how eyeshadows will work on the eyes, but I've never had an issue with Morphe's formula, so I feel like these will work just fine. I really liked how these swatched. All the mattes swatched really well, including the very dark shades, which is always pleasantly surprising when dark, intense, colorful, like, matte shades aren't complete trash when swatched when they're so dark, so I'm very happy. I really didn't have issues with any of the swatches, actually. Like, all these shades swatched pretty well. Obviously, some shades I'm more of a fan of. I mean, obviously, I like the colorful side. That's kind of the reason I bought it. I do like Sandbar and Tranquility. Those are some other, like, natural mattes that I like. I'm kind of, like, I'm someone who prefers a more metallic formula, and a lot of these shimmers aren't that. They're more so, like, satiny formulas. Like, if I want a metallic, I want something blinding metallic and shimmery. I don't want something that is literally, like, just kind of like bleh. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, the shimmers are okay, but I definitely prefer a little bit more intensity, and I feel like that's the only issue Morphe has sometimes, is having too many shimmers that don't have enough impact without being built up a ton. But that's just my opinion. I think their mattes are pretty good. I haven't had any issues with their formula, again, except for 35F, so all the recent palettes I've tried for them I've loved, and they're in my collection now, so that just goes to show that I do like them. That being said, obviously I haven't tried these on my eyes yet. I wanted to get this swatch video up so you can decide whether or not you want this palette, since it is limited edition and I'm a little bit behind on uploading this since I just bought it. But I don't know, I like this color story. I think it's swatched really, really well. We like doing swatches on this channel. It's kind of like my main thing. I enjoy doing swatches. You guys enjoy watching them, so That is why I do them. This color story gives me life. I'm very happy I picked up this palette. I can definitely see myself doing a ton of looks. Again, you have bright shades, you have natural shades. Like, there are so many places you can go with this. You could easily do like cut creases, like even like blown out like colors. Like, you have so much going on in here that, and I feel like it's cohesive. I like that they did it in color stories instead of just all over the place. I can admire a palette when it's cohesive, if that makes sense. Since I haven't done any looks with this yet, let me know down below what colors you'd like me to use in my first few looks with this, and I will post on my community tab when I do them, but make sure you comment down below whatever looks you'd like me to do with this eyeshadow palette, because your girl would always love to hear your thoughts. The natural shades didn't stain at all, so that's good. The blue and pink shades, however, did stain my arm a bit. I did scrub a bit, so my arm was a little irritated, but I was able to get most of it off by like scrubbing with a makeup wipe, so I would definitely recommend on your eyes using micellar water to remove these eyeshadows just to be safe. You don't want to tug at your eyes too much. As is typical with most Morphe palettes, did not come with a mirror. At least it has like a colorful background. At least they're starting to do that so you can differentiate between the different palettes, but I do wish they would have put a small mirror in. That being said, I don't really use mirrors on big palettes, so it's not too much of a sadness for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you subscribe, comment down below any videos you'd like to see me do. Go follow my Instagram and TikTok, Makeup by Tasha XO, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, thanks. What do you Really? Why must one of you always step on my eyeshadows? Good gracious. Handsome.